In the last episode, we were looking at why people find it difficult to move on after a breakup. In this episode, we will try to go a little further. Have you ever wondered why two people who go through breakups react in two different ways? One tries to settle down quickly, while the other keeps brooding about it, thinking about the person, feels lonely, have an urge to reconnect, and also finds it difficult to be alone. So the question that we are trying to answer today is, why do different people react differently to breakups? I am Staney, the founder of ATMANAM, a counselor and psychotherapist. In this platform, we try to share real case scenarios. We use therapeutic interventions and also guide young therapists to formulate hypotheses and move towards conclusions. This is a 28-year-old client named Ananya. She recently had a breakup, and she constantly thinks about the person that she broke up with. She says, "I miss him very much." But here we need to understand that Ananya is trying to reconnect to him, tries to reminiscent the thoughts, the times that they spent together. She also feels a fear of being alone. And obviously, her day-to-day activities gets affected. At this point of time, certain questions emerge in our minds. Is it just grieving, or is it something that leads to emotional dependency? Let's keep these questions for the time being as we probe more into the case. When we explored further, we found out that she constantly checks her emails, her messages, and WhatsApp conversations with that particular person. She also feels very lonely, and she keeps herself busy with other activities. She also feels anxious when there is no contact, and she wants assurance that there is somebody for her. This tells us that this is not grieving, but this is something to do with anxiety because of abandonment. To test this, we use John Bowlby's attachment theory. In simple, attachment means how I connect to people and how secure I feel amidst them. So there could be three major possibilities. There could be people who can be quite natural, normal when they are in connection, and they can also be free when somebody moves away from them. The second type would mean I fear abandonment and I feel anxious. The third type would mean I will avoid people on my own. So in this particular case of Ananya, we find she is anxious because she fears abandonment. So the issue here is fear of abandonment. A fear that is so deep-seated that she feels the need to be connected. And she believes that if she loses this connection, she loses meaning of her own existence. So we can understand that Ananya is trying to grapple through this particular situation. It is not that she misses him. Rather, she is feeling anxious because this connection is not there. It is, I feel unsafe without this connection. So what happens internally? When the breakup occurs, the client's attachment system gets triggered. They go through a series of behavioral symptoms like checking, like going through old emails or WhatsApp messages, need to be assured that somebody is there with them, a need to reconnect, and this can cause emotional dependency. Therapeutically, we engaged Ananya in 3 different processes. Number 1, attachment-based psychoeducation. We helped Ananya to understand her attachment pattern, the why of the issue. We also tried to help her to see that it was not just with this particular person whom she felt significant that she's feeling anxious, but probably she did feel anxious when significant people like parents, friends had moved away earlier on in life. This gave Ananya an awareness of her pattern. Secondly, we tried to engage her in emotion-based focusing. That means we helped her not to run away from the feeling, instead to stay with a feeling. It might be very difficult at times, but still, she gradually started allowing her to be with the feeling, to understand the feeling and see what it does to her. So gradually, she developed a tolerance towards the pain that she was going through. Thirdly, we used the technique of reframing, helping her to see beyond the breakup, to look into the future of possibilities and how she can help herself heal and move ahead with greater purpose. Eventually, Ananya got better. It took a while, but still she was ready to go through the pain and she started making changes. So gradually, Ananya was able to understand her anxiety. Her search for connection slowed down. She gradually stopped looking at old conversations and old photographs that would trigger more anxiety. She would look forward for meaningful connections such as friends, family, work, and leisure. At some point of time, Ananya was able to move ahead in her own life. This might sound like a fairy tale, but it had taken a long, painful journey for Ananya to get over the loss that she had faced. So now we understand a breakup is not experienced the same way by everyone. It depends on the attachment pattern that they have been groomed over the years. And the pain and the resilience depend on the attachment pattern that they have developed. So let's ask this question. Do I feel anxious when a close person, like a friend or a family member or somebody whom I'm emotionally connected to, moves away from me? Does it affect my day-to-day life? If so, we can relate with Ananya's case. It is not a weakness, but it is your attachment pattern that makes you feel and behave in a particular way. If you like this content, please do subscribe, share, and comment. We'd be happy to listen to what you have in mind. Until then, keep learning and keep growing.